Hey everybody, I miss you all. Golly, well, looks like we're going to finish this semester on online. So let's pick up right where we left off. We were talking about in the classical era. We were discussing Beethoven, and we were in the middle of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. We had just finished listening and talking about the four-note motive that happened throughout that first movement, which basically was short, 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 long, and how he built this amazing movement out of such a small amount of material. This material will actually appear again all through out the rest of the symphony too, which is really neat. You kind of have to listen for it. Some of it's obvious and some of it's not, but it's a connecting thread. It's like kind of like staying on topic, or having this common thread that ties the piece together. And this is something new for this time period, and so we call that cyclic music or cyclic music. So the use of this motive throughout all four movements of the symphony, by inserting it in there, that is called cyclic. The use of this motive all the way through, or a theme in other pieces. Okay, now you're going to well, whenever you hear a symphony, you're going to hear four movements, and we talked a lot about that first movement. And in the second and third movements, we will hear all new themes, but we'll still hear some of this in that piece. Now, what I want to jump to is the fourth movement. And so that'll be Roman numeral 4. And that is called, just by its tempo name, its tempo marking. It doesn't have a name per se, just allegro. It's going to start with a transition right from the third movement. There won't be a gap. The timpanist plays this rhythmic motive, which, remember, we were talking about motive as being sort of like a word. This rhythmic motive will go short, 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 long, short, 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 long, and bring us into the fourth movement. Okay, so it serves as the transition. Beethoven called this rhythmic motive a sort of knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Ba, 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 ba. Well, so we're going to listen to a little bit of that and hear how the timpanist does that. Short, 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 long, short, 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 long, and it builds up this tension until the fourth movement literally like erupts everywhere. And it is so triumphant and feels like such an eruption because he leaves C minor and we arrive at C major, and big brass fanfares. And this arrival at C major represents the victory of light over darkness, major replacing minor. And this was kind of unusual for the day. And we're going to talk about this in the next part of this video. Talking about how Beethoven sort of bends the rules, breaks the rules, pushes the limits of the rules, and just changes things by making things new and sort of moving us beyond all the old rules, so to speak. But this major, it's so triumphant. It's like the clouds open up and the sun comes in, and once again, we're going to hear that motive work its way through. Work its way through the fourth movement as well. Let's hear that exciting, or that building of the tension, and then that exciting eruption of the fourth movement where we go to major. All right, here we go. Hear that? Da, 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 da. The timpani's playing that motive now. It's very quiet. It's going to build. To the end here. This is the repeat. Okay, that's the repeat. And now let's get to the ending.